Now that we've assembled our cube, we're going to create an exploded view, and that's going to be a new kind of file. So I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to choose Standard IPN. Looks like a little peg going into a hole. This is an exploded view file. I'm going to open that up. From here, I'm going to go to Create View, and this little window will pop up, and I want to choose a file. So I'm going to choose the file where I assembled my cube together, or any other assembly will work as well. So I'm going to go and find my cube assembly right there. And right down here, there's two explosion methods. There's manual and automatic. Manual, you pull all the pieces apart the way that you want, and automatic, it will automatically do it for you to a specific distance. I'm going to go ahead and teach you how to do it automatic, and I'm going to show you how to do it manually as well. So first I'm going to do manual, so I'm going to hit OK. And here's my cube, and I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. And first thing I'm going to do is tweak components. So I'll click this, and right now we have a lot of different options in here, but let me just show you pulling one piece apart. Let's say we wanted to pull the red piece up. So if I want to pull the red piece up, I'm going to click the top surface, and look at this. I got Z, Y, and X. Z is going to go up and down, Y is going to go left and right, and X is going to go forward and backward this direction. So Y goes forward and backward this direction, basically. And right now, under my transformations, Z is selected, so that's the direction that it's going to go in. If I wanted, I could click Y and it'll go Y direction, so I'll slide it back and forth this way. Or if I wanted to click X, then I could slide it back and forth this way. I, however, already wanted it to go up, so I'm going to choose Z. And before I pull it up, I also don't really like trails on, and I'll show you what it looks like in both. So if I pull the cube up like this, notice that there's a little blue line that shows you where it came from. And we can pull these in all sorts of directions, and there'll be trails on them. So I don't like trails on, so I'm going to go ahead and hit close, and I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to go to tweak components again, and I'm going to click my red piece again, but this time I'm going to uncheck display trails and then pull this apart like that. So let me look at it from ISO. Basically, with an exploded view, what you want is a separation of all pieces. So you want all the pieces to look like they're separated from each other, that none of the pieces are touching. That's very important. Sometimes even when you do an automatic exploded view, it'll still have pieces that are touching. That's why I like you to know how to do it manually as well. So once I've moved this into a position I like, I can hit clear and then move on to the next piece that I want to do. So the next piece I want to do is the blue piece. I'm going to click it, and this time I want to go in X direction because I want to pull it down. It automatically chose Z for me, so I'm going to choose X, and display trails is already off. I'm going to pull this down so it's separated right there, so I can see space between. I'm going to hit clear. It's a black piece. I'm going to click, and it chose Z, and incidentally I want Z, so I'm going to grab the piece. Don't grab the arrow because sometimes it won't move. See, I've grabbed the Z arrow and it didn't move. Well, it's moving now, but before, if you grab the arrows, it won't move. You need to actually grab the piece itself. Oh, I grabbed onto the brown piece. I want to clear that and actually undo it. Yeah. Tweak components, click the black piece. I want to go Z. It's already on Z. I'm going to grab it by the piece, not the arrows. I pull it out here and hit clear. The brown piece I'm going to click. It's chosen Z. I want Z. I want to pull it backwards and hit clear. And I'm going to close this, and we've got a nice exploded view because everything's been separated into pieces, so you can see all the individual pieces. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do it automatic. So I'm going to go back in time. Whoop. Okay, so now I have my piece there. Oh, actually, I'm just going to close this. No. Hit new, go to standard IPN. By the way, that last piece that you just did, you could have just kept as your exploded view as well. But I'm going to show you auto too. So click Create View, choose your assembly, and then on my explosion I'm going to choose Automatic. And here it tells you that they're all going to be an inch apart. And you can see it an inch apart and then undo it if you don't like it, but all the pieces are going to be an inch apart. I think that we're going to have to up this distance a little bit once we see it, but I'm going to turn Create Trails off as well because I don't want to see them. Hit OK, and see this is an inch apart and they're not very separated. And look at this, even the yellow and blue piece are still together. They're stuck together still. So this is no good. I'm going to have to tweak a lot of these anyway. So I'm going to go back in time, go to Create View again, and choose my assembly file. And I'm going to do Automatic, don't create trails, and I'm going to put 2.25 inches, let's say, so it'll be a little over double the distance it used to be. No creating of trails, hit OK, and see this? Even here, it exploded it pretty good, but the blue and the yellow are still together. The black is pretty close to both of those, and then the brown and the red are far apart from the rest of this, but not really that much. So automatic is sometimes good if you have a object that has a lot of pieces on it that you want to just get it started, but then you'll still have to tweak. No matter what, you're always going to have to tweak the components. So if I go in here and tweak components and click my blue piece and it's on Z, that's what I want. I'm going to pull this aside, hit clear. The yellow piece, I want it to go X direction, so it'll separate this way a little bit. Because when we explode, a good rule of thumb, you want your explosion to happen in a sphere. You don't want to pull everything right and everything left and have nothing go up and down, or everything up and down and have nothing going right or left. You want everything to be blown up in kind of a circle. So everything should be going roughly in a circular motion so that you have a nice basically sphere of explosion, so that the middle is where the explosion happened and all the things are blowing out evenly from the center. So again, if you do an automatic explosion, you're still going to have to tweak a few components, if not a lot of components, just so you know. And so I wanted you to know both ways. You know both ways now, but just know that there has to be a separation of all of them in kind of a sphere. So you may actually want to just do it manually every time, because even with an automatic explosion, you're going to have to do a little bit of tweaking anyway. Go ahead and save this file, and that'll be your exploded view that you can put in a title block.